So on my channel, I feel like I've covered the Lakers and the Pelicans trade this offseason quite a bit, and that's going to happen more and more as the season goes on. It was a really big trade with a lot of moving pieces. In that trade, there were a lot of good players, and I mean a lot. I think Lonzo Ball has shocked some people this season, and I also think the same goes for Brandon Ingram. And Josh Hart has also been a solid contributor for the New Orleans Pelicans. But on the other side of things, Anthony Davis has been looking downright dominant. You can argue he's been looking as good as he ever has. I guess playing with the LeBron James Lakers team will do that for you. Again, I think the trade was great for both sides involved. Possibly the most fun part about the trade is that we haven't even began to see the peak of this trade. Anthony Davis and LeBron James can only go up from here. The season is incredibly young, and the chemistry between the two can only build. The chemistry between the entire Lakers team can only go up. The team is relatively fresh. And in a recent game, Anthony Davis dropped 40 points and 20 rebounds in only 3 quarters. In the last 20 seasons, there's a list of nobody else that was able to do this. I would love to tell you guys who else did this, but there's literally nobody. That's how good of a game that Anthony Davis has had. And the Lakers have been able to manage Anthony Davis's minutes so far. I think this is really, really important because you guys know Anthony Davis has had some injury trouble in his career. It's a long season, and load management is the future. I'm a New Orleans Pelicans fan, so you can imagine how hard this is all for me to say. But at the same time, I think this is why I'm going to be able to bring you the best perspective on Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball. Why these two have been so good this season. That's who this video is actually about. But before we go any further, be sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications, guys. You won't want to miss another D-Coop video. And that's facts. Also, guys, I've been grinding hard trying to get to 200,000 subscribers so I could go full time and bring you guys daily content. So be sure to subscribe. Also, since you guys have been showing so much love on the channel, guys, again, I'm taking requests on videos down in the comments below. I am open to any player, any team, any topic, honestly. And if there's a topic that's like really urgent, all you have to do is hit my Instagram, handle GLikeCoop. You won't want to miss a post on IG. But seriously, just leave a comment on this video and I got you guys, man. I've been seeing a lot of requests for Derrick Rose, and I can't really think of too many other players that are just like popping out right now off the top of my head. But that Derrick Rose video will be coming soon, so you won't want to miss that, man. Notifications on. So Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball actually haven't been in this position in their entire career. It's actually pretty crazy. Brandon Ingram this season, Brandon Ingram is who I'm going to start off with, by the way. Brandon Ingram this season is averaging a whopping, you know what? I want you guys to go ahead and guess right now in the comments below. You could pause the video if you want, just type your comment. I'm interested in knowing how many points you guys think Brandon Ingram is averaging this season, because it might shock you how good he's been if you haven't been keeping up with him. Now, Brandon Ingram has been averaging 27 points a game this season, and he's been so good that it's so effortless in how he's getting his points. If you look at his field goal and his 3-point percentage, they're both at 50% or higher. And he's taking a career high 6 threes a game this season, which is spectacular because that was one of his big knocks. That's what a lot of analytic guys didn't like about Brandon Ingram. They didn't like that Brandon Ingram wasn't shooting the ball enough from deep. And when he did shoot it, he wasn't shooting it very effectively. I think the season before this, he was shooting the 3-pointer at about 33%, which would put him below league average. League average last season, I believe, was around like 36%. Now, of course, when taking in averages, there are a bunch of outliers. So to me, I think anything above 34% is pretty decent from the 3-point line. But 33%, not really going to cut it. I know it's just 1%, but being a perimeter player, he just had to get that better. And he did. He also raised his free throw percentage to 77%. Where things actually start to get crazy is that Brandon Ingram wasn't able to really practice or work out much this offseason. Brandon Ingram had to have surgery to remove a rib to strengthen his back muscles and improve his posture to ensure the passage of the veins would open up. Brandon Ingram was dealing with blood clots. this is something that's pretty serious. Ingram reported that both arms felt super weak, and he remained immobile for almost a month, and he waited another 4 months before beginning physical therapy. Ingram only began working out about a month before training camp started. It's crazy how much Ingram has improved in a short amount of time, and I think you can attribute it to a few things. I think you could attribute it to him now playing with the chip on his shoulder, and also at the same time, he wants to keep things fun. He says he was away from basketball so long that when he plays now, he just likes to take advantage of it. He said it was a crazy process for him, so when he steps out on the court, it's just fun for him. He also has been on IG hyping up NOLA, and he said he likes his new spot better, which I love to see being a Pelicans fan. I can't tell you the amount of people that have called me a bandwagoner on YouTube thus far. It's actually crazy, a bandwagon Pelicans fan. I guess I see what Zion Williamson coming to town does. It's also no secret that Brandon Ingram played a lot better without LeBron James. Him and LeBron would clash a lot of times on the court, and you could tell that he didn't really fit the whole LeBron James vibe. And I don't blame him. If somebody was trying to ship me off like that, are we really going to vibe? But Brandon Ingram has shown a ton of resilience, similar to his teammate Lonzo Ball. Ingram has really never been in position to be the true guy for any team throughout his career. I think even though Zion being injured is bad, there was some good that came out of it. Ingram being able to establish himself as one of the true focal points of this team is going to be huge going down the line for the New Orleans Pelicans. And it's only going to help Lonzo Ball. I think Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball have both had to deal with a ton of players that don't exactly cater to the way they play. I think a lot of these Lakers rosters have been poorly constructed for some time now. Though it doesn't always show up in the box score, Lonzo Ball, what he does goes way beyond the box score. But with that being said, let's start with some stats. Lonzo Ball this season is averaging a career high in points at 12.4. Lonzo Ball is shooting 75% from the free throw line. The season before, he shot 41.7%. The season before that, he shot 45%. He's also shooting 37.5% from the three-point line. And he's taking almost 7 threes a game. The season before that, he shot 32.9%. The season before that, he shot 30.5%. This is huge for the Pelicans offense because Lonzo Ball being aggressive makes everybody else around him better. It kind of sets the tone for the rest of the game. Lonzo Ball made so many good passes to Brandon Ingram versus the Denver Nuggets. It was amazing. They weren't passes that always led to assists, but they were passes that would lead to buckets. If you guys understand what I'm saying here, just for a second, he would pass the ball not to Hunt and assist, but he would get the ball to Brandon Ingram in a spot to attack the basket. And he's so good at this. He's one of the most selfless players I think I've ever seen play basketball. It's honestly good to see a point guard with this type of mentality. It's like Lonzo Ball realizes where all of his teammates are threats and where they like the ball. If you are best going downhill and he has to give the ball up in the backcourt, he's got no problem doing that. He loves that. He probably wants more of that, honestly. Lonzo Ball, what he does is he will pass the ball, right? And the teammate will be a threat. Doesn't always lead to an assist. But once the teammate occupies some more defenders, the teammate will dish it out to somebody else. Then boom, hockey assist. It's like Lonzo's playing chess, not checkers. It's like he really sees the game ahead of everybody else. It's truly amazing to watch. If you don't watch Lonzo Ball, you have to watch this guy play. Doesn't complain if he's not getting enough touches, enough shots. He's learning his spots. And then against the Nuggets, he was attacking downhill. I think this comes with having a coach, an offensive coach like Alvin Gentry, who, for all of the faults that he has, especially on the defensive side of the basketball, is one of the truly great offensive coaches in the NBA. Earlier in Lonzo's career, even earlier this season, he would shy away from attacking the basket. He would settle for the jump shot a little too much. And it would seem like he was kind of allergic to the paint. But once he starts getting inside the paint, once he starts beating his defender off the dribble, applying that pressure, looking to not necessarily score, but possibly scoring's on the mind, make a play, that's when I really think Lonzo Ball is at his best. It's clear to me that Gentry has made that a focal point that, hey, we got to get you getting to the basket some more. We can't just keep hovering around the three-point line. He's also averaging a career low in turnovers. And of course, Gentry is still encouraging Lonzo to shoot the ball. Again, for everything Gentry lacks, he's really good at building confidence in players, like Brandon Ingram, like Lonzo Ball. The environment change is so good for both of these guys because there's so much pressure in LA. There's so much tension. Everything is under a microscope. Now these guys really get to bog down and they really get to play their game. They really get to enjoy basketball a little bit more. And Brandon Ingram actually said that. He actually came out and said that, hey, everybody around me has been so genuine and like this is lovely. Everything no longer has to funnel through LeBron James, which, if you have LeBron on your team, it's understandable why you play that way. But that can be tough for other players to truly get in the rhythm if they're not built for that type of system. It takes a certain type of player, I think, to play their best when they're with LeBron James. The New Orleans Pelicans emphasize team ball. They emphasize passing the ball, getting everybody involved. They lead the league in assists, and this is no surprise. They have a team environment. They have a good culture now in place with David Griffin. The Los Angeles Lakers are 15th in assists, and the bottom two teams are the Oklahoma City Thunder at 18 and the Portland Trail Blazers at 17.4. Also, the New York Knicks are there, and the Sacramento Kings are pretty low also. Luke Walton is doing his best to try to destroy another young core. It's also interesting to note that Brandon Ingram was hooping pretty hard when LeBron James was hurt. And now with the Pelicans, he even looks to be facilitating the ball at a high level too. I saw him making passes that I think I would have never saw him make in the past. I guess that goes with the environment change. Be sure to click the video on the screen right now, guys. It's me going over the Golden State Warriors and what their next move should be. I'm D Coop. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe, and I am out.